From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.
Good day. This is Dateline Malacañang in review. Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday signed the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprises to maximize opportunities for reinvigorating the economy, or Create More Act, in a ceremonial program at Malacañang Palace. The enacted law will make the country's tax incentives regime more globally competitive, investment-friendly, predictable and accountable, consistent with the administration's 8-point socio-economic agenda. The Create More is guided by 5 overarching objectives aimed at cementing the Philippines' status as a premier investment destination, enhancing ease of doing business by streamlining compliance and recognizing emerging work arrangements, clarifying value-added tax or VAT rules to resolve implementation challenges related to VAT incentives and ensure clearer, more consistent application, enhancing the competitiveness of tax incentives to make the country's incentive system more attractive to investors and businesses, strengthening governance and accountability in the grant and administration of tax incentives to ensure transparency, fairness, and optimal use of tax incentives, and clarifying transitory rules for registered business enterprises, or RBEs, to facilitate a smooth transition to the new regime while protecting the interests of existing businesses. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
And it is a good morning because, as I've said, this was a hard-fought and hard-won bill that really encompassed such a great scope of everything that we are trying to do in our economic transformation. We have taken a decisive step towards our vision of a globally competitive and investment-led Philippine economy. The signing of the Corporate Recovery and Tax Incentives for Enterprise to maximize opportunities for reinvigorating the economy, a bit of a mouthful, so we'll just refer to it as the Create More Act, is a resounding testament of our commitment to make the Philippines the destination of choice for investments. This law stands as a symbol of the invaluable insights shared by our international partners gathered during my trips abroad. Their feedback has enriched this legislation, a reflection of our resolve to foster a climate where businesses will flourish and continue to meaningfully contribute to the Philippine economy. Our gross domestic product, or GDP, grew at an average of 5.8% in the first 3 quarters of 2024, and that showcases our potential as a dynamic, vibrant force in the region. Despite our potential, we recognize the challenging road that still lies ahead. Through this law, we seek to attract both domestic, and this is an important point, both domestic and global investments, focusing on strategic industries that will shape our future. Create More sets the stage for a business landscape that empowers our enterprises and enhances their growth prospects. By building on the reforms initiated through the Create Act, we have enhanced our tax regime, incentive framework, and making it more inviting for investment, while remaining steadfast in the principles of fiscal prudence and stability. Create More clarifies the rules of availment of VAT and duty incentives and further extends its coverage to include non-registered exporters and high-value domestic market enterprises. We restore to our registered business enterprises a vital support they once knew, the eligibility for VAT incentives for costs that are directly attributable to the conduct of their business. This means that essential expenses, those reasonably necessary and incidental to their operations, may once again be enjoyed zero-rated, as they were prior to the CREATE Act. In concert with this effort, we have championed reforms to ease the way of doing business in our country, starting with a more efficient VAT and excise tax refund process under this law. Our partners in the diplomatic corps, this has been something that we have been discussing for a long time, and here it is. By establishing clear timelines and deadlines, and by limiting compliance requirements to those mandated by law, we are promoting transparency and predictability. And in so doing, we create a more reliable process that instills confidence in investors and in partners alike. Through the Create More Act, we are also clarifying local taxation during the income tax holiday and enhanced deductions regime, areas previously unaddressed by the original CREATE Act. This creates a fair and balanced system for local taxes, giving businesses greater certainty, while ensuring that local communities also benefit from their presence. With this law, we are establishing a more efficient approval process by raising the investment capital approval threshold for our investment promotion agencies from 1 billion to 15 billion pesos, ensuring that only projects exceeding this amount will now require review by the Fiscal Incentives Review Board. Create More expands the enhanced deductions regime, offering greater tax relief to RBEs. Key benefits include the reduction in the income tax rate to 20% from 25%, a doubling of additional deductions on power expenses, which will significantly cut costs for the manufacturing sector, and an additional 50% deduction for tourism reinvestments and trade fair expenses. Likewise, this law provides tax or duty exemption on donations of capital equipment, raw materials, spare parts, or accessories to the government and GOCCs, TESDA, state universities and colleges, and DepEd or CHED accredited schools as well. Create More refines our incentive structure, empowering us to remain competitive and agile in the face of emerging global shifts. It provides flexibility in the grant of fiscal and non-fiscal incentives, offering registered businesses the option to directly avail of the special corporate income tax rate or the enhanced deductions regime at the start of commercial operations. In recognition of emerging work arrangements globally, this legislation also provides RBEs the flexibility to implement work-from-home arrangements for up to half of their workforce, all without jeopardizing their eligibility for incentives. By doing this, we position the Philippines as a forward-thinking, agile economy, one that is ready to meet the demands of the digital age. Finally, to honor incentives previously granted, this law authorizes businesses established before the CREATE Act to continue enjoying their national and local benefits, including VAT and duty incentives, until 2034. They also have until the end of 2024 to register and avail of the incentives under the CREATE Act. As we open new doors of opportunity, we drive businesses to reinvest their capital, build upon the workforce, and initiate a ripple effect that will be felt across generations. This will not be possible without the expertise of our legislators who work tirelessly to refine Create More's provisions and to ensure its timely passage. We cannot emphasize enough the important role of the business sector in shaping this law. Your feedback has been essential in our efforts to craft policies that make our country truly competitive on the global stage. Create More is tangible proof that we hear and respond to the voices of the business community. This reaffirms our commitment to work hand in hand with enterprise, continually seeking avenues to make your investments grow and prosper. To our investors and development partners, let this be our pledge. The Bagong Pilipinas continues to foster an economy where businesses and investments remain at the heart of our progressive development.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday sought to bolster his administration's collaboration with the cruise tourism industry. The president emphasized the government's goal to create an industry that benefits cruise lines and their members, as well as the local communities and travelers seeking to explore the Philippines' diverse culture. In his speech during the Sea Trade Cruise or STC Asia 2024 in Parañaque City, President Marcos extended his warm and earnest invitation to all participants to deepen partnerships founded on the principles of shared success and mutual aspiration. The chief executive added that through collaboration and commitment, the Philippines is set to establish a hub for cruise tourism, a destination where innovation, collaboration, and sustainable growth converge. President Marcos said he expects a more vibrant cruise tourism in the country that could bring lasting benefits to all. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
It is our greatest pleasure and honor to host this esteemed occasion, and I warmly welcome each of you to our shores. As we gather for the Sea Trade Cruise Asia 2024, we are presented with an opportunity to shape the future of cruise tourism in a way that brings a lasting benefit to all. The Philippines, in collaboration with our regional partners, is committed to playing a constructive role in this evolving industry. We are focused on strengthening infrastructure, forging meaningful partnerships, and ensuring that both the cruise industry and local communities will flourish. Our efforts go beyond improving ports and destinations. We are also working to preserve the cultural and environmental assets that make us distinctive. Our goal is to build an industry that benefits everyone: the cruise lines and its crew members, the local communities, and the travelers who seek to explore the rich diversity of our cultures. By streamlining operations, enhancing efficiencies, and focusing on sustainable practices, we aim to ensure that the cruise industry grows in a way that is both practical and inclusive. The Philippines has long been a gateway to the rich history and culture of Southeast Asia. Now, with your collaboration and commitment, we establish ourselves as a hub for cruise tourism, a destination where innovation, collaboration, and sustainable growth converge. With 40 unique destinations welcoming cruise ships from the coasts of Palawan to the streets of Manila, we offer experiences that echo beyond the shores and resonate with every traveler. Last year, we took pride at being recognized as Asia's best cruise destination, and as well at the World Cruise Awards, and as well this year we are recognized as the best port of call at the Asia Cruise Awards. These accolades are affirmations of our collective vision, one shared by the Department of Tourism, the Philippine Ports Authority, and our local communities, to elevate the Philippines as a premier cruise destination worthy of global recognition. In line with our National Tourism Development Plan of 2023 to 2028, we have worked diligently to modernize our ports to enhance guest experiences and streamline entry processes. The recently launched Cruise Visa Waiver Program is just one example of how we are transforming our policies to welcome visitors with open arms and with open doors. In 2023, the Philippines welcomed 125 cruise calls across more than 30 destinations, a testament to the increasing confidence of the industry in our capabilities. To date, we anticipate 109 calls for 2024, with other confirmed schedules extending to 2027. Yet numbers alone do not tell the full story. What truly matters is the promise behind those numbers. The promise that each ship docking here brings a wave of opportunities for local economies, for artisans, for communities. The journey ahead will require all of us to work very hard together with dedication, foresight, and with purpose. As we continue to move forward with the same vision and determination that has brought us here today, I have no doubt that the Philippines will succeed in the global cruise tourism industry. Our goal does not end at welcoming more ships. We aim to create meaningful, lasting connections between travelers and our country. We strive for each cruise call to be a chance for passengers to step into our story, taste the richness of our cuisine, dance to the rhythms of our traditions, and carry beautiful memories of the Philippines back with them, memories that linger long after the journey ends. To the distinguished representatives of cruise lines, esteemed industry leaders, and valued partners, the Philippines extends a warm and earnest invitation to you to deepen our partnerships founded on the principles of shared success and mutual aspiration. This is an opportunity to forge stronger alliances, exchange insights, construct enduring connections that will transcend borders, and continue to benefit our industries for years to come. May your participation in the Sea Trade Cruise Asia 2024 be productive and enriching, and may the collaborations we foster here today chart a transformative course for our region's cruise industry. On behalf of the Filipino people, I extend a heartfelt welcome, and I accompany it with our expressions of deep gratitude. Thank you very much, and may your conference, may this meeting be a very successful one.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday said the new maritime laws will help the country in protecting its territory by making a clear delineation of its territorial waters. In a chance interview on the sidelines of an event at the Okada Manila in Parañaque City, the president said he is not surprised of China's reaction on the enactment of the Philippine Maritime Act and Philippine Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act that emphasizes the Philippines' rights to its territorial waters. President Marcos on November 8th signed Republic Act or RA 12064 or the Philippine Maritime Zones Act and RA 12065 or the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act to protect the country's maritime resources, preserve its rich biodiversity, and ensure that Philippine waters remain a source of life and livelihood for all Filipinos. The Maritime Zones Act identifies the Philippine internal waters and defines the archipelagic waters, full entitlement of a 12 nautical miles territorial sea, declaration of a 24 nautical miles contiguous zone from the baselines, and the 200 nautical miles exclusive economic zone or EEZ and continental shelf where the Philippines can exercise sovereign rights and jurisdiction. On the other hand, the Archipelagic Sea Lanes Act establishes 2 east-west routes and 1 north-south route, namely the Sea Lane 1, Philippine Sea, Balintang Channel, West Philippine Sea. Sea Lane 2, Celebes Sea, Sibutu Passage, Sulu Sea, Cuyo East Pass, Mindoro Strait, West Philippine Sea. And Sea Lane 3, Celebes Sea, Basilan Strait, Sulu Sea, Nasubata Channel, Balabac Strait, and West Philippine Sea. The three sea lanes are designated routes and passages in archipelagic waters where all ships and aircraft have the right to traverse in a continuous, expeditious, and unobstructed manner.
Well, it's not unexpected, but we have to define closely. Marami tayong sinasabi that we have to protect our sovereign rights and our sovereignty. So it serves a purpose that we define closely what those boundaries are, and that's what we're doing.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Monday expressed confidence that the Philippines' relations with the United States will remain strong under the leadership of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump. On the sidelines of an event at the Okada Manila in Parañaque City, the president told reporters that he believes there would be no major change in the two nations' relations, considering that the U.S. is the Philippines' oldest treaty partner. President Marcos on November 6th congratulated Trump, who is poised to be proclaimed on his second term as U.S. President. Trump, who served as U.S. President from 2017 to 2021, defeated U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris after posting an insurmountable lead in the 2024 elections. The Philippine president earlier said he is bullish on the Philippines and the U.S.'s unshakable alliance, adding that he looks forward to working with Trump on a wide range of issues that will yield mutual benefits to two nations with deep ties, shared beliefs, common vision, and a long history of working together. The U.S. has been the Philippines' long-standing military ally.
I don't think it will change the global forces they are our oldest treaty partner. That doesn't change. So I will have to see if there is a major change, but I don't think so.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday has green-lighted the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST's program aimed at aiding the agriculture sector through the production and use of locally made machineries. In a sectoral meeting in Malacañang, the President expressed confidence on the DOST's local manufacturing capabilities to support agri-mechanization program. The Chief Executive said some of the locally produced machineries are already being distributed to farmers during the previous distribution of government support and services. DOST Secretary Renato Solidum Jr. said, the government's shift from importation to local production of local machineries would not only benefit the agricultural sector but also strengthen the manufacturing industry. Solidum said the Department of Agriculture, or DA, recognizes the need for mechanization and has been providing farm implements to farmers and cooperatives, particularly through the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. Meanwhile, DA Secretary Francisco Chu Laurel Jr. expressed support to the DOST's program, noting of the importance to focus on machineries needed by local farmers and ensure they meet quality standards. This prompted President Marcos to direct the DOST DA, and other research institutes to ensure the research and development aspects of the agri-mechanization drive, even as he called for the smooth implementation of the program.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Wednesday welcomed delegates from Hawaii's Pacific Century Fellows, or PCF, reaffirming the country's shared vision for tourism growth and closer ties. During their meeting, the President and PCF discussed how to further strengthen relations between the Philippines and the United States island state of Hawaii, especially in the tourism sector. The PCF is a group of established and emerging leaders in Hawaii. It was founded by former Honolulu Mayor and current President and Chief Executive Officer of the Hawaii Lodging and Tourism Association, Mufi Hanneman. Hanneman is an advocate of the Filipino community in Hawaii and a supporter of advancement and promotion of Filipinos in the tourism industry. President Marcos said it is always a pleasure for him to welcome friends from Hawaii, especially when the purpose of the visit is to continue to find ways to interact even more closely with the Philippines, considering, of course, that the Filipino population in Hawaii is a significant one. Hanneman said he was looking forward to working with Department of Tourism or DOT Secretary Cristina Garcia Frasco and exchanging ideas.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday said the country's flood control master plan must be revised to keep up with the climate change that fuels more powerful tropical cyclones. The president said he has directed the Department of the Interior and Local Government, or DILG, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources, or DENR, the Department of Public Works and Highways, or DPWH, and other concerned government agencies to redesign the flood control master plan to address the changes in weather patterns. In his speech delivered at the Abada College Gymnasium in Pinamalayan, Oriental Mindoro, President Marcos said storms are different now. Flood controls are in place, but due to more water caused by rains, it can't handle it anymore. The chief executive was in Oriental Mindoro Province to lead the ceremonial distribution of presidential assistance to farmers and fisherfolk affected by the recent onslaught of severe tropical storm Christine and super typhoon Leon. President Marcos also directed the DILG and the DENR to encourage local government units, or LGUs, to use the geohazard maps of the DENR Mines and Geosciences Bureau, or MGB, in identifying landslide-prone and flood-prone areas. The Philippine President also ordered the DPWH, the Department of Transportation, or DOTR, the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, the Department of Trade and Industry, or DTI, and the LGUs to ensure that roads, bridges, and other infrastructures are of high quality, safe, and disaster resilient. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Narito tayo ngayon upang mamahagi ng tulong para sa mga magsasaka, mangingisda, at mga pamilyang apektado ng mga bagyong nagdaan dito sa Oriental Mindoro. Sa kabila ng hirap at hamon na dulot ng bagyong Christine at Leon, muling ipinakita ng ating mga kababayan ang diwa ng bayanihan at pagkakaisa. Ngunit, batid kong marami pa ang kailangan nating gawin upang makabangon muli sa mga pagsusubok na ito. Ang inyong lakas sa kabila ng ganitong hirap ay nagbibigay sa amin ng determinasyon upang ipatuloy na kayo ay silbihan ng bagong puso. Mula sa tanggapan ng Pangulo, magbabahagi kami ng tulong pinansyal na nakakahalagang 10,000 piso sa halos 5,000 benepisyaryo. Ito po ay para matulungan po kayo sa iba pang mga pangangailangan. Mga kababayan, ang pamamahagi ng tulong na ito ay tanda ng ating panata sa isa't isa na kahit anong mangyari, tayo ay laging magtutulungan. At ang pagbangon mula sa ganitong sakuna ay nakasalalay sa bawat isa sa atin. Simula nitong nakaraang buwan, sunod-sunod na bagyo ang ating naranasan. 4 na magkakaibang bagyo na sabay-sabay na namuo sa West Pacific. Kasama rito ang bagyong Marce, Nika, ngayon yung Ophel. Hindi man natin mapigpigilan ng pagtama ng mga bagyong ito sa bansa, maaari naman tayong gumawa ng mga hakbang upang maibsan ang epekto nito. Makakaasa kayo na ang pamahalaan ay narito para matulungan kayo na makabangon sa mga ganitong pagsubok. Ngunit, maliban pa rito, kailangan din namin ang inyong kooperasyon at suporta para magtagumpay ang mga hakbang na makakapagpatatag sa inyong komunidad laban sa sakuna. Inatasan ko na ang DILG at DNR na hikayatin ang ating lokal na pamahalaan na gamitin ang geohazard map ng DNR, Mines and Geosciences Bureau, upang magsilbing gabay sa mga landslide-prone at masyadong maraming baha na lugar. Hinihimok ko rin ang ating mga kababayan na sumunod sa mga babala ng inyong lokal na pamahalaan para sa inyong kaligtasan. Lalo na po doon sa mga kinakailangan lumikas, batid namin na mahirap maiwan ang inyong bahay. Mga pag-aari, ngunit huwag na pong mag-atubili na lumikas kung ito ay sasalba sa inyong buhay. Para naman sa DPWH, DOTR, DOST, DTI, at iba pang ahensya at lokal na pamahalaan, inuulit ko po, pag-aralan at suriin nang mabuti ang ating mga kalsada, tulay at iba pang istruktura upang matiyak natin ang dekalidad, ligtas at handa ng itong mga strukturang ito laban sa pagbabago ng panahon. Ang sabi ko nga, ang bagyo ngayon iba na. May mga flood control tayo, pero dahil sa mas madaming tubig na dulot ng pag-ulan, hindi na nakakayanan. Kaya inatasan ko na rin ang DPWH, ang DNR, at iba pang ahensya na rebisahin ang Flood Control Master Plan upang makasabay sa patuloy na paglakas ng mga bagyo. Sabay-sabay tayo na lumaban at magsumikap para mas maayos ang ating kinabukasan. Sa ating pagtutulungan, alam kong darating ang araw na ang mga hamon na ito ay magiging bahagi ng ating kwento na tagumpay. Bago ako matapos, malugod kong binabalita na naisabatas na nga, kagayat ng binalita sa atin ni Governor, ang araw ng Oriental Mindoro na ipinagdiriwang tuwing ika-15 ng Nobyembre. Ang ating diwa ng bayanihan ay magsisilbing liwanag na magpapakita ng daan tungo sa pagbangon at kaunlaran para sa inyong probinsya at para sa isang bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday led the distribution of financial assistance worth 42.33 million pesos to farmers and fisherfolk in Cavite Province affected by severe tropical storm Christine and Super Typhoon Leon. A total of 4,233 beneficiaries from 21 municipalities in the province received 10,000 pesos each. In his speech during the aid distribution at the Tagaytay International Convention Center, the President said, the government continued to work hard to help Caviteños return to their normal lives as well as those in neighboring provinces of Calabarzon. President Marcos vowed to help victims of Christine and Leon recover from their impacts as soon as possible. The chief executive said the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, and the Department of Labor and Employment, or DOLE, were present during the event to provide assistance. The President also urged Caviteños to remain resolute and hopeful in the face of challenges as he assured them of continued government support. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Nakikita na po natin ang dulot ng bagyo at sakuna na pinalala ng tinatawag na climate change. Alam natin, ang bawat unos na dumadaan ay nag-iiwan ng bakas sa ating sambayanan at pamayanan. Kaya't mas pinaigting natin ang paghahanda, ang pagbuo ng mas matatag na mga sistema at ang pagbibigay ng tulong sa mga kababayan nating tinamaan ng mga nagdaang bagyo. Ngayong araw, nandito po tayo upang maghatid ng tulong sa ating mga Caviteño at Caviteña. Mga kababayan nating labis na naapektuhan ng mga nakalipas na bagyo. Sa harap ng hamong ito, nauna nang naglaan ang tanggapan ng Pangulo ng tulong pinansyal para po sa inyo. Ang mahigit 4,200 magsasaka at mangingisda na naapektuhan ng bagyong Christine at Leon ay pagkakalooban ng 10,000 piso upang muling makabangon at mapalago ang inyong mga kabuhayan. Patuloy ang ating pagsusumikap, maibalik sa normal ang kalagayan ng mga Caviteño at mga karatig na probinsya ng Calabarzon. Kasama sa aming hakbang na pamamahagi ng tulong sa mga lubos na naapektuhan ng bagyo sa pamamagitan, kasama po ang DSWD, kasama po ang DOLE. Walang humpay din ang ating pamahalaan sa pagbabantay sa mga bagyo at epekto nito. Napansin nga natin na karamihan ng pinsala ay dulot ng lakas ng hangin, pagbaha at ang pagguho ng lupa. Kaya inatasan ko ang DPWH, ang DTI, ang DOST, kasama ang mga lokal na pamahalaan upang tiyakin ang kaligtasan ng bawat gusali at istruktura. Tiyakin natin na ligtas at dekalidad ang mga pasilidad laban sa pagbabago-bago ng panahon. Inaatasan ko rin ang lahat ng ahensya at lokal na pamahalaan na maging puspusan pa sa paghahanda laban sa mga nararating na kalamidad pa upang maiwasan ang pinsalang dinanas natin sa mga nakalipas. Tungkulin nating ihanda ang ating bansa. Pagyamanin ang ating makabagong estratehiya at siguruhin ligtas ang ating mga kababayan. Nagbigay tagubilin na ako sa DILG at DNR na hikayatin ang mga lokal na pamahalaan na gamitin ang tinatawag po na geohazard map na ibinubuo ng DNR, Mines and Geosciences Bureau. Nang sa ganon ay makapagsilbing gabay sa mga landslide prone at bahain na lugar. Kasabay nito, inuutusan ko ang DPWH, DNR at iba pang mga ahensya na muling suriin ang ating mga flood control master plan upang kayanin na natin ng ating infrastruktura ang tumitinding pag-ulan at pagbaha. Dito po sa Cavite ay pinapatupad natin ang Cavite Industrial Area Flood Risk Management Project. Inaasahan natin na sa tulong ng proyektong ito na matatapos sa 2029, maiwasan na ang matinding pagbaha sa San Juan River Basin at sa Maalimango Creek Drainage Area sa Cavite. Sa DPWH, siguruhin natin na matapos ito sa lalong madaling panahon at siguruhin natin na maganda ang kalidad nito upang kayanin ang mga pagbaha na dulot ng climate change. Mga minamahal kong kababayan, sa kabila ng mga pagsubok na ating pinagdadaanan, naway pumaibabaw ang ating pagkakaisa at pakikipagkapwa. Hinihikayat ko kayong lahat na manatiling matatag, magtulungan po kayo at huwag mawalan ng pag-asa dahil ang pamahalaan ay kasama ninyo sa bawat hakbang ng inyong pagbangon. Sama-sama natin itaguyod ang isang maunlad at nagkakaisang bagong Pilipinas kung saan walang Pilipino ang naiiwan sa oras ng pangangailangan.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Acknowledging that extrajudicial killings, or EJKs, in the previous administration's drug war remain unanswered, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday said the testimonies of former President Rodrigo Duterte during a congressional inquiry on Wednesday will be taken into the investigation of the Philippine National Police, or PNP, and Department of Justice, or DOJ, on the drug war killings. According to the President, the statements will be assessed by the DOJ for possible case buildup. The chief executive said he is waiting for the PNP report on its investigation of the alleged drug war killings. Duterte appeared before the House of Representatives Quad Committee probe into his administration's bloody drug war for hours on Wednesday. At one point, he dared the International Criminal Court, or ICC, to rush its investigation into his war on drugs over alleged crimes against humanity.
It's right now that is being done by the PNP, and so we are we're waiting for their findings. But you know, all of the testimony that was given yesterday really will be taken in and will be assessed to see what in legal terms what is the real meaning and consequence of some of the statements made by PRRD. Now, if that will result in a case being filed here in the Philippines, we will just have to see. The DOJ will have to make that assessment.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Thursday graced the 50th Top-Level Management Conference, or TLMC, of the Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, or KBP, at the Taal Vista Hotel in Tagaytay City. The event gathers key figures from the broadcast media, entertainment, and technology sectors to showcase advancements, discuss trends, and foster collaboration within the industry. The annual flagship event for the broadcasting community is a premier platform for networking, innovation, and professional development. Since its establishment in 1973, the KBP has grown to encompass nearly all radio and television broadcast stations in the Philippines. As a non-governmental organization, the KBP champions the values of free and independent media, responsible broadcasting, and public service, while also promoting advancements in broadcasting technology. In his speech, the President encouraged members of the media to unite in ensuring an honest 2025 midterm elections. The chief executive emphasized the important role that media play in fighting against disinformation and misinformation, and again affirmed the administration's dedication to protect the media. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
For half a century, The top-level management conference has reflected the kapasanan ng mga broadcaster ng Pilipinas' firm dedication to serve the Filipino people with integrity and fairness and an enduring pursuit of truth. Now more than ever, your work holds immense value. An informed citizenry is the foundation of a truly working democracy, for it is the people, armed with the truth, from whom power emanates and who demand accountability. This conviction stands particularly critical, for we live in an age where information can be shared and received instantly. With this vast reach comes the crucial and absolutely very complex and difficult responsibility of distinguishing fact from fiction, standing guard against distortion. With technological advancements and the popularity of social media, we have seen a rise in disinformation and misinformation campaigns that could undermine public trust in the entire democratic process, including elections. In this regard, media plays a vital role in dispelling the noxious influence of misinformation, dismantling the lies that are spread by troll farms and other malicious organizations. This is where responsible journalism must come in. The responsibility goes beyond simply informing. It enlightens. It empowers. By championing the integrity and accuracy, the broadcast media helps build public trust, which in turn strengthens our democracy. Further, the continuous evolution of the media warrants the adoption of new skills, new resources, and of course, the new technologies. After all, your influence as journalists is profound. With every report, story, and headline, you help shape public perception, strengthening our citizens' capabilities to make informed choices and to voice their dreams and aspirations. I share in the objectives of the TLMC to build trust and safeguard the democracy our ancestors fought and died for. That is why I see the KBP's partnership with the Parish Pastoral Council for Responsible Voting as an important and commendable initiative to help promote and ensure a clean, transparent, honest, and accountable election next year. I urge you to remain steadfast in these principles that protect the trust bestowed to all of us by the Filipino people. Let us also explore new and creative ways to engage and inspire the public. We need a citizenry that is not only informed, but is also actively involved, vigilant, ready to defend the values that we hold dear. Rest assured that we will continue to protect your rights and your welfare. In line with this, we remain committed to making the country safe for journalists and media practitioners. Under the helm of the newly appointed head of the Presidential Task Force on Media Security, or PTFOMS, Executive Director Jose Torres, we strengthen our resolve in safeguarding the lives of media personnel and practitioners. I have directed the PTFOMS, chaired by the Secretary of the Department of Justice, to ramp up and intensify operations in relation and in preparation to the upcoming 2025 midterm elections. In particular, I asked the PTFOMS to focus their efforts on the media, of the members of the local media, whose fearless coverage makes them particularly vulnerable to threats against life, liberty, and security. It is also an action from our experience that the smaller the constituency that is being fought over by different political candidates, the more heated that debate becomes. It becomes personal at that level. And that is where we have to protect our people and our journalists. I have also directed the PTFOMS to intensify and strengthen partnerships with the media, such as Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas, the National Press Club, the National Union of Journalists of the Philippines, and other concerned groups. Indeed, We are one in defending the truth and addressing the demands of modern media. Sama-sama nating itaguyod ang isang malaya, mapagpalaya at magpagkakatiwalaan na pamamahayag sa ilalim ng bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Friday inaugurated the Light Rail Transit or LRT Line 1 Cavite Extension Project or L1CE Phase 1 held at the Dr. Santos Station, Dr. A. Santos Avenue in the city of Parañaque. With the opening of Phase 1, some 6 kilometers will be added to the transit line, connecting Baclaran Station in Pasay City to Dr. Santos Station in Parañaque City. The new segment will feature 5 new stations under Phase 1, including Redemptorist, Asiana Station, MIA Road Station, PITX Station, Ninoy Aquino Avenue Station, and Dr. Santos Station. With this, travel time from Quezon City to Parañaque City will now be reduced to less than an hour. Once Phase 1 is operational, the extended LRT1 is projected to add around 80,000 passengers daily during the first year of operations. Average ridership of LRT1 now is around 320,000 daily. The second phase of LRT1 Cavite Extension consists of Las Piñas Station and Zapote Station, while the third and last phase is the Nyog Station. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
Today, we build on the dreams and dedications of those who came before us. The LRT1 Cavite Extension has become a reality because 40 years ago, one man had a bold vision to build a modern transit system. Like many monumental undertakings, the concept of the light rail transit was first met with doubts. It was criticized as a project way ahead of its time, with costs way above what the country could afford and engineering challenges way beyond the expertise that we had. But despite this, 3 years later, after the groundbreaking, the first train started rolling. Rolled into history as the first rapid train system in Southeast Asia. Many people have forgotten that, but the LRT1 was the very first light rail urban transit system in Southeast Asia. And since then, people who have now discovered the joy of an easy commute. Above all, as one of the biggest and most complicated public works at that time, it instilled pride in our people and reinforced the belief that Filipino talent and ingenuity can always overcome any odds. It broke bureaucratic reluctance to tackle the grand and the enduring, instead of being contented with the temporary and the piecemeal. On this day, no one is happier than his son in seeing that his father's foresight is being validated by another work that expands mass transit that he had built for the people that he loved. The L1C project has been a long time in the making, spanning 5 administrations, starting with President Estrada to President Arroyo, President Aquino, President Duterte, and now to mine. We owe this progress to the hard work and dedication of my predecessors. We must recognize their roles in helping making this dream a reality. And as we unveil the Phase 1 of the L1C project, we are reminded of the simple yet powerful truth. The way forward is guided by learning from the past and honoring the values and traditions that shape our path towards a better future. The Phase 1 extends the LRT1 Line 1, bringing us the first 5 new stations in Parañaque City. These stations, Redemptorist Asiana, Mia Road, Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange, Ninoy Aquino Avenue, and Dr. Santos will serve as vital access points for many, many Filipinos. The Dr. Santos Station, formerly known as Sukat, is an intermodal transport facility offering multiple bays for public and private vehicles. This facility exhibits our firm determination to provide efficient, accessible transportation options for all. With the Phase 1 completion, the LRT-1 will have the capacity to serve an additional 80,000 passengers every day, significantly enhancing our current ridership. Commuters will now see a great reduction in travel time, allowing them to spend more time with their loved ones. By serving commuters across Metro Manila, Cavite, and neighboring areas, the whole project creates a smoother, more reliable mode of transport. Our journey towards a more seamless and modernized public transportation system does not end here. We are committed to building station after station, reaching as far and as fast as our people's needs dictate. Patuloy pa nating pinapalawak at pinapaganda ito. Tulad na lamang nitong pinagsisinayangan natin ngayon. At the same time, I recognize that countless rail projects, those conceived, broken ground upon, thoroughly studied, and even initially financed during my administration, may not see completion in my term. This is the nature of railway development and of any large-scale development. This is not a short-term endeavor. It requires patience, persistence, and passion and commitment that extends beyond immediate timelines. Rail projects not only commence when soil is first taken from the earth. In fact, most of the heavy lifting is done during the preparations. Our role is to ensure that we have a roster of projects running along the pipeline so that the next generations will assume that these heritage projects and take on the responsibility to finish them. Carrying the lessons of the past, we aim to intensify our work on rail initiatives. The issues on road right-of-way must be resolved fast, and disputes must not hinder work. To attract foreign investment in the transport sector, we should leverage the Public Service Act that removes the 40% cap on foreign investment in railways. Finally, the public-private partnership or PPP hybrid model on L1CE serves as a perfect template for future investment. With these in mind, we are pursuing more transportation projects. Dito sa LRT-1 Cavite Extension, hangad ko na matapos ang natitirang 3 istasyon hanggang Bacoor, Cavite sa lalong madaling panahon. Ukol sa Unified Grand Central Station sa Quezon City na magsisilbing terminal kung saan magtatagpo ang 4 na linya, hangad ko na agaran nitong magkukumpleto. Nang sa gayon, handa itong magbigay ginhawa sa mga pasaherong tumatangkilik sa tren araw-araw. Hangad ko rin na maging komportable ang mga pasahero sa MRT-3, sa EDSA at sa LRT-1. Hindi na sana kailangan maglakad ng mga pasahero mula sa MRT-3 North EDSA Station na malapit sa Trinoma para lang lumipat sa FPJ Station papuntang Balintawak o sa Caloocan. At this point, I would like to express our gratitude to the people behind the success of L1CE Phase 1 completion. Of course, the DOTR that has played a central role in all of this. The Light Rail Transit Authority, the project concessionaire, the Light Rail Manila Corporation, including our financial stakeholders and contractors, for providing the Filipino people with safe, reliable, and efficient transportation services. If ease of travel is key to prosperity, then it is in the railways that we find the drivers for growth. When we connect our hubs and our heartlands through a reliable, efficient transportation system, a people's system accessible to all, we foster a truly inclusive and connected nation. Together, Let us build a more advanced, progressive, and prosperous bagong Pilipinas. One where every Filipino can look towards a future of seamless connectivity, improved mobility, and the freedom to spend time on what truly matters. I took note of MVP's quotation of the Colombian president, and this is this has been actually what I have told all in the transport system, and why I have put so much emphasis on rail transport. And that is my experience in taking I've been riding trains for most of my life, simply because as a student and as a young man, it was simply the most convenient. But I think that anyone who has had any experience commuting in big cities like New York or London or Paris, you can see that the ridership is a mixed bunch. And it's not only ordinary workers who are going to work, but you also see people who clearly are people with yung may kaya. Yung mga may kaya magkaroon ng limousine, magkaroon ng naka-Rolls Royce sila nakaparada sa bahay. Ngunit, ang ginagawa nila, sumasakay sila sa tren. Dahil, yan ang pinakamabilis, yan ang pinakamaganda, at yan ang pinakaginhawa na paraan upang makarating sa kanilang pagtatrabahuhan. And that is the point at which, when we can see as we refer to them, the rich folk riding the trains as a matter of choice, before riding their fancy automobiles going to work, simply because it is the quickest way there, it is the easiest way there, then I can say we have succeeded, at least partway, in what we have been aspiring to do. This is the Philippines we strive for, a nation that moves forward as one.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
And finally, Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. on Friday led the Philippine Navy, or PN, Change of Command and Retirement Ceremony in honor of Vice Admiral Toribio Adasi Jr. at the PN headquarters in Rojas Boulevard, City of Manila. Vice Admiral Adasi Jr. took the helm as the 40th Flag Officer in Command, or FOIC, of the country's premier naval force in 2022. Under his leadership, the Philippine Navy prioritized safeguarding the nation's sovereignty and maritime interests. He also focused on sustaining gains under the Philippine Navy SAIL Plan 2028, enhancing training, streamlining the organization, advancing bases development, and promoting a self-reliant defense posture. According to the Naval Public Affairs Office, Vice Admiral Adasi Jr. is a graduate of the Philippine Military Academy, or PMA, Makatao class of 1989. He has held various positions in the Armed Forces of the Philippines, or AFP, after nearly 40 years of dedicated service in the military, such as Commander of the Naval Forces of Western Mindanao, or NFWM, and key Navy positions that include Commander of Naval Installation Command, Commander of Fleet Marine Ready, and Fleet Inspector General. Let us listen to the speech of Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. during the event.
We gather here today to celebrate the career of Vice Admiral Toribio Adasi Jr. as he concludes his tour of duty as the 40th Flag Officer in Command of the Philippine Navy. Let me highlight the contributions of a leader who has made a mark on everyone who had the privilege of working with him. Vice Admiral Adasi has devoted most of his life to safeguarding our nation's sovereignty and our maritime interests. He took the helm in 2022 amid a very challenging time, yet he remained driven by his resolve towards developing a modern and multi-capable naval force. His commitment, leadership, and vision has significantly strengthened our naval capabilities and enhanced our readiness to face the rapidly evolving challenges of today. He was exactly what this country needed: mild-mannered and calm, his presence of mind unshakable despite provocations and attempts to escalate tensions. It is through his leadership that we remain firm in asserting our rights in the maritime domain while keeping to our responsibility of safeguarding lives and promoting regional peace and stability. Under his command, the Philippine Navy has achieved countless milestones. I am certain that there is a long list of commendable accomplishments, but allow me to just enumerate a few. He spearheaded modernization efforts that have equipped our naval forces with advanced assets and technologies. These enhancements have bolstered our defense posture and improved our ability for humanitarian assistance and disaster response, now a critical role in our archipelagic nation. He has also championed regional cooperation and partnership by fostering ties with our allies and neighbors and by promoting collaborative efforts towards peace and stability in our maritime zones. Aside from improving operations, Vice Admiral Adaci sought to strengthen the Philippine Navy as an institution, lifting the morale of all officers, troops, and civilian personnel. He is attuned to the needs of his people. He supported their training, their growth, and welfare, ensuring that the women and men of the Philippine Navy remain professional and capable of heeding the call of duty. I also wish to extend my heartfelt appreciation to his family. They have endured the challenges that accompany the demanding nature of uniformed personnel. Their support has been instrumental in inspiring him to serve our country better. Vice Admiral Adaci, you leave behind substantial reports of your legacy. Even though not everyone will have the opportunity to read them, those words will come alive in the story shared by those who served with you. On behalf of a grateful nation, thank you for your exemplary and passionate service. We wish you fair winds and following seas as you embark onto your next journey. Thus, we turn a new leaf as we welcome the new flag officer in command, Vice Admiral Jose Maria Ambrosio Espeleta. Having worked with the FOIC closely, you can attest to the standard he has set for the institution. I expect the same, if not greater, from your leadership. As Vice Admiral Adaci has demonstrated, your predecessors are always difficult acts to follow. But given your competence, your experience, and mental fortitude, I am confident you will continue to lead the Navy with integrity and surpass any challenges that you might confront. I look forward to working with you, and I give you my full support as you build on your legacy. Let us work together as we steer the future in the right direction for a more secure, advanced, and prosperous Bagong Pilipinas.
You just heard Philippine President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.
Dateline Malacañang.
Before we conclude our program, Radyo Pilipinas World Service of the Presidential Broadcast Service is heard over the following shortwave frequencies: 9.475 MHz, 15.640 MHz, and 17.820 MHz. You can also visit our Facebook page and YouTube channel at Radyo Pilipinas World Service. You'll be able to hear and view our Filipino and English programs, including news updates here in the Philippines. Kindly subscribe, like, and share our posts as well. And that concludes this edition of Dateline Malacañang in Review. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this is Leo Magpayo. Good day and stay safe.
From the Presidential Palace, Manila, Dateline Malacañang.